The auditorium at Crest Hill High buzzes with anticipation, that electric energy that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. I'm sitting 6 rows back, trying to keep my focus on my son, Micah. Tonight is his night, his moment to shine in that crisp navy blazer he spent an hour ironing this morning. Beside me, my daughter Nora fidgets, clutching a single daisy we picked up from the gas station on the way here. Her feet dangle from the seat, the chair too tall for her. I'm proud, so proud, watching Micah up there with the other students, his shoulders squared like he's carrying something heavier than just a high school award. This is about him, I remind myself, not the divorce, not the years of arguments, and definitely not her. I'm here for my son, to see him recognized for the hard work he's put in. This is the kind of moment that swells a father's chest. Adjust my tie, feeling out of place among the polished parents with their expensive watches and murmured small talk. Nora nudges me, whispering about how Micah practiced walking across the stage in the living room last night. I chuckle, picturing him pacing back and forth, muttering to himself. The lights dim slightly, the principal steps up to the podium, and I lean forward, ready to clap louder than anyone when they call his name. It's just us tonight. Me, Nora, and Micah's moment. Nothing else matters. At least that's what I tell myself until I feel a chill run down my spine, like someone's watching me. I glance across the aisle, and there she is, Riley, my ex-wife, sitting with Spencer, her new husband. They look like they've stepped out of a glossy magazine spread. Her hair is perfect, her dress probably worth more than my rent, and Spencer's sporting that smug grin, his arm draped over her. Chair, I didn't expect her to be here. Well, I did, but I'd hoped to avoid her. Our eyes meet for a split second. I offer a polite nod, the kind reserved for strangers you don't want to offend. She smirks back sharp and knowing, like she's already won some game I didn't know we were playing. My stomach twists, but I force myself to look away. Back, to the stage where Micah's waiting. Nora is still talking about the flower, asking if Micah will like it, and I nod, telling her he'll love it. But Riley's presence lingers like a shadow, pulling at memories I've tried to bury. Late-night fights, her telling me I'd never be enough, the way she'd roll her eyes when I talked about Micah's dreams. I shake it off. This isn't about her. I repeat it in my head, gripping the armrest tighter. The principal's voice crackles through the mic, starting the ceremony. I focus on the stage, on the kids lined up, on Micah's nervous half-smile as he adjusts his blazer. Nora swings her feet again, and I put a hand on her knee to still her, whispering that we need to be quiet now. She giggles, and for a moment, it's enough to ground me and remind me why I'm here. I'm not here to dwell on Riley or Spencer, or the life that fell apart. I'm here for my son, who's about to walk across that stage and make me prouder than I've ever been. I scan the program in my lap, skimming the list of awards, wondering which one Micah will get. He's been tight-lipped about it, just saying it's something cool. That shy grin of his never revealing too much. I'm guessing it's academic, maybe math or science. He's always been a whiz at both. The first kid's name is called, and polite applause ripples through the room. I clap too, but my eyes stay on Micah, watching him shift his weight, his hands clasped in front of him like he's trying not to fidget. He's nervous, I can tell, but he's holding it together. That's my boy. Steady, even when the pressure's on. Nora leans against my arm, her daisy drooping a little, and I smile down at her, telling her to sit up straight so she can see better. The auditorium feels warm now, the air thick with expectation. I'm starting to relax, starting to feel like maybe tonight will go smoothly. Maybe I can get through this without letting Riley's smirk or Spencer's presence crawl under my skin. Maybe I can just be a dad cheering for his kid. Nothing more, nothing less. The principal calls another name, and I clap again, my hands moving on autopilot while my mind stays on Micah. He's worked so hard for this, stayed up late studying, pushed himself even when things at home, both homes, got messy. I'm not perfect, never claimed to be, but I've tried to be there for him, to show him he's enough no matter what anyone says. And tonight, I'm here to see that effort pay off, to watch him shine in a way no one can take away. The stage lights glint. Off the trophies lined up on a table, and I imagine Micah holding one, his face breaking into that rare, full smile he saves for the best moments. That's all I want tonight. Just that. The auditorium at Crest Hill High erupts in applause as Micah's name echoes through the speakers. Outstanding academic achievement. My heart surges, and I clap so hard my palms sting, grinning like he's just won gold at the Olympics. He stands up, his navy blazer catching the stage lights, and starts his walk to the podium. His steps are careful, but proud. Nora bounces in her seat beside me, whispering that she knew he'd get something. Big! Her daisy waves like a tiny flag. I'm so caught up in the moment, so focused on my boy, that I almost miss it, the sharp, cutting voice slicing through the cheers like a knife. It's Riley, my ex-wife, sitting across the aisle with that polished smirk, saying something I wish I hadn't heard. He's just like his dad, always second place. My stomach drops, heavy as a stone. Before I can process it, Spencer, her new husband, leans in close to her, his chuckle low and mean. Good thing. His looks came from his mom, he adds. Like he's been waiting all night to land the jab. The words hit me like a punch. But worse, I see Micah's back stiffen mid-step, his stride slowing just enough to tell me he heard them too. I freeze, my hands still raised to clap, hovering there useless as the noise around me fades into a dull roar. My boy is up there, supposed to be soaking in his moment, and instead he's carrying the weight of his mother's careless cruelty. I glance at Riley, hoping maybe she didn't mean it. But she's sipping her drink, casual as anything, like she didn't just tear into her own son's soul. Spencer's still chuckling, his arm slung over her chair, and I want to storm across the aisle to demand what gives them the right to talk about my kid like that. But Nora's right here, her small hand tugging at my sleeve, asking why everyone's so loud. I can't make a scene, not with her watching, not with 100 parents holding up phones to capture their kids' smiles. Micah reaches the podium, his certificate in hand, but his face is wrong. No smile, no spark. Just a tight-lipped nod as he shakes the principal's hand. He's trying to hold it together, I can see it, but his shoulders are hunched now, like he's shielding himself from something heavier than disappointment. My chest aches, a deep, gnawing pain, because I know what he's feeling. Those words weren't just about this award, they were about him, about us, about everything he's tried to prove he's not. I want to shout that he's not second place, that he's more than enough. But my voice is stuck, trapped behind the lump in my throat. I look at Nora, her eyes wide and confused, and I force a smile, telling her to keep clapping for her brother. She does, her small hands smacking together, but I can barely hear it. Over the blood pounding in my ears, Riley's voice keeps echoing in my head, sharp and dismissive, and I can't shake the image of Micah's hand rising to his face as he walked, wiping at his cheek like he could brush away the sting. Did he cry? My boy, who's always been so strong, so steady. Did her words cut that deep? I want to believe he didn't hear them, that he's fine. But the way his eyes flicker toward the crowd, searching for something, tells me otherwise. I lean forward, willing him to look at me, to see that I'm here, that I'm proud, that he doesn't need to carry her words. But he's staring at the certificate now, his fingers gripping it too tightly. And I know he's fighting to keep his composure in front of everyone. The applause dies down, and the principal moves on to the next name. But I'm still stuck on Micah, still seeing the way his stride faltered, the way his hand moved to his face. I glance at Riley again, hoping for a hint of regret, but she's laughing at something Spencer's muttering, her head tilted back, like she's at a cocktail party, not her son's ceremony. How can she do that? How can she sit there tearing him down when he's up there trying so hard? I think about all the times she's dismissed him before, forgotten birthdays, missed recital promises, broken because Spencer had a better plan. I've always tried to make up for it, to be the one who shows up. But tonight her words feel like they've undone everything I've built with him. Sandoka. Nora's voice pulls me back, asking if Micah is happy, and I don't know how to answer. I tell her he's proud, that he worked hard for this, but my voice sounds hollow, even to me. I'm angry. Angrier than I've been in a long time. But it's not just Riley or Spencer. It's me too for not seeing this coming, for not preparing him for how cruel people can be, even the ones who are supposed to love you. I want to protect him, to wrap him up and take him home where no one can hurt him. But he's not a little kid anymore. He's up there, facing this, alone, and all I can do is sit here 6 rows back, clapping for a moment that's been tainted. The next kid's name is called, and I clap again, my hands moving on instinct, but my eyes are locked on Micah as he heads back to his seat. His head's high, but there's a stiffness to him, like he's holding himself together by sheer will. I want to believe he's okay, that he'll shake this off, but the way his hand brushed his cheek keeps replaying in my mind. And I know this isn't over. Not for him, not for me. The auditorium feels suffocating now, the air thick with murmurs and occasional bursts of applause. But all I can see is Micah, up there at the podium, clutching that certificate like it's a lifeline. That's fraying fast. His face is blank, no trace of the grin I'd hoped for, and it's killing me to watch him stand so still, so silent, like he's carrying a weight no one else can see. I want to jump over these rows, grab Spencer by his pressed collar, and wipe that smug laugh off his face for what he said about my boy. Riley's words, calling Micah second place like he's some kind of disappointment, keep clawing at me, and I'm burning inside. My fists clench until my knuckles ache. But Nora is right here, her small hand resting on my arm, her daisy drooping, in her lap, and I can't let her see me lose it. Not with all these parents around, their phones out, filming their kids' proud moments, while mine's up there hurting. I force myself to breathe, to sit still, but it's like trying to hold back a storm. Micah is not moving, just staring down at that piece of paper in his hands, and I know it's not about the award anymore. It's about what he heard, what his mum said, and what it's done to him. I glance across the aisle, and there's Riley, laughing at something Spencer's whispering, her drink tilted like she's at a cocktail party, not her son's ceremony. How can she be so careless? How can she not see the way Micah's shoulders are slumped, the way his eyes are fixed on nothing? I want to believe she didn't mean it, that it was just a thoughtless jab. But I know better. She's always been like this, sharp when she's feeling superior, quick to cut down anyone who doesn't fit her idea of success. And Spencer, with his slick grin and his arm around her, he's just egging her on, like tearing into Micah is some kind of sport. My jaw tightens, and I have to look away before I do something stupid, like shout across the room and make this. I can feel the shift the moment Micah's head lifts. His eyes scan the room, brushing over the sea of faces until they find mine. For a moment it's like he's asking if I saw, if I care. I nod, just a small gesture, but it's packed with everything I feel. Pride, love, anger at what they did. To him. His gaze lingers on mine, steady. Not quite a smile, but something different. A quiet strength. He straightens, loosens his grip on the certificate and speaks softly, cutting through the murmurs of the auditorium. "This isn't the real award," he says, and the room goes silent. That comes later. Everyone leans in, a few shifting, in their seats. I don't know what he means, but I feel it, something important. His words hang in the air, heavy, loaded. I'm proud, scared, proud again, because he's not just talking about tonight. He's talking about everything, every doubt, every time he's been made to feel less than. Riley's laughter stops. Spencer's smirk fades. They hurt him too. I hope they feel it. I hope it stings. Nora tugs at my sleeve. "What does he mean?" she asks. I shush her gently, eyes fixed on Micah. He steps away from the podium, head higher now, his certificate still in hand, but his stance different. He doesn't. Look at his mom or Spencer. He doesn't give them the satisfaction. The principal clears his throat, moving on to the next award, but I'm stuck. Micah's words are replaying in my mind. What does later mean for him? A bigger award? A moment of proving them wrong? I trust him, though. Trust that he's got this. The applause starts again, but it feels distant, like it's happening in another room. I'm stuck in this chair, my heart still pounding. Micah's face is hard, like he's holding back something bigger than tears. I want to tell him I'm proud, but for now all I can do is clap for the next kid. Nora's voice pulls me out of my thoughts. "Why does Micah look sad?" she asks. I swallow, telling her he's just tired, but my voice sounds hollow. She nods, but I know she sees more. I glance at Micah again, and he's sitting straight, jaw tight, like he's bracing for something bigger than tonight. The principal steps back to the microphone, and the room falls quiet. The anticipation is thick, and my heart is pounding. I glance at Micah, still calm, his certificate in his lap. I don't know what's coming, but I feel something shifting. Then the principal speaks, and my world stops. "This year's valedictorian is Micah Rowan." For a second I'm frozen. Valedictorian, my son. The room erupts into gasps, then applause, and I'm on my feet before I even realize it, clapping hard. Nora's on her toes, shouting his name. And I don't care who's staring. This is his moment, this is everything. I glance across the aisle. Riley's face is pale, her drink forgotten, mouth hanging open. Spencer is frozen mid-laugh. I hope they feel it. Every word they threw at him tonight. Every jab, Micah stands, walking to the stage with purpose, like he knew this moment was coming all along. His movements are different now. Steady, confident. He steps up to the microphone, his blazer sharp. Under the lights, when he speaks, his voice is steady, raw. "My whole life people said I'd always be second best," he begins. My stomach twists, knowing exactly who he's talking about. The words that hurt him, that tried to break him. The room is silent. He pauses, letting the weight of his words land before continuing. But my dad taught me something better. That real strength doesn't need to shout, it's showing up every day, even when people doubt you. My throat tightens. The lessons I've tried to give him, they've stuck. His words are bigger than I could have imagined. He's not just speaking for himself. He's speaking for all the times he was told he wasn't enough. Micah's eyes find mine. For a second, it's just us. I nod, hoping he sees everything I can't say, that he's more than I ever dreamed, that this moment is his no matter what anyone else thinks. He keeps going, his voice stronger now. "So tonight, I'm proud to say I'm valedictorian, and I'm proud to be just like my father." The words hit hard and I swallow, trying to keep it together. Riley's face is unreadable. Spencer's smirk is gone. But I don't care. This moment is for Micah, and for the first time tonight, I see him fully, standing tall, stronger than anyone ever gave him credit for. The applause builds, slow but steady. I'm clapping, my heart full. Nora is beside me, tugging at my sleeve, asking what valedictorian means. I smile, telling her it means Micah's the best, the strongest. And I feel it in my bones that he's not second place, not to me, not to anyone who matters. As the applause grows louder, I wonder if this is the real award he was talking about, but something tells me there's more to come, something even bigger. I nod, my voice thick, when I tell her he's speaking the truth. I think back on all the times I questioned myself, wondering if I was enough for him, if my quiet, steady way of showing up, of sticking around, was too small. But watching him now, seeing him stand tall, I realize it wasn't small to him. It was everything. The applause starts to grow, not a roar yet, but real. And I'm caught in it, swept up in the way Micah's words have shifted something in the room, and something in me. I look at him still holding the mic, his plaque gleaming, and I see the kid who once fell asleep on my shoulder, the teenager who came home quiet after weekends with his mom, the young man now claiming his place in a way I never could. I think about Riley's words earlier, calling him second place, dismissing him like he didn't matter. And I hope she's hearing this. I hope it's sinking in, because he's so much more than her jabs. Spencer's silence says he gets it, too. And I'm relieved, because this moment belongs to Micah, to us, not them. The principal steps up, ready to move things along, but I'm still stuck on what Micah said, replaying it in my mind, feeling it settle into me like a truth I didn't. I even know I needed. Nora is smiling now, clapping along with everyone else. I place a hand on her shoulder, watching her as much as I'm watching myself. Micah steps back from the mic, his face calm yet fierce, like he's said what he needed to say, and now he's done carrying their doubts. I want to rush to him, to tell him he's everything I ever hoped he would be. But he's still up there, and I'm here, 6 rows back, clapping with a room full of people who don't understand what this means. The moment feels fragile, like it might slip away if I don't hold on to it, but it's also solid. Something will carry forward from this, something that proves we're more than anyone ever gave us credit for. The applause keeps going, and I'm part of it, my hands moving, my heart full, knowing that my boy just spoke a truth that's bigger than this night, bigger than all of us. The auditorium at Crest Hill High is still humming with the echoes of Micah's words, his voice calling me his strength, his pride. And here I am, 6 rows back, my hands trembling from the applause, my chest so tight I can hardly breathe. The applause starts slow, like people are still digesting what he said, but then it builds, rolling through the room like thunder, a standing ovation that feels like it's lifting us all. Nora is on her feet beside me, clapping wildly, her daisy slipping from behind her ear. And I can't help it. I grin, blinking hard to keep the tears back, because my boy just turned this night around, turned everything around. All the years I spent doubting myself, wondering if I was enough for him, if my quiet way of showing up, fixing breakfast, helping with homework, listening when he needed me, mattered enough, are falling away now. Replaced by this moment where he stood up and said, I'm the one he's proud to be like. I glance across the aisle and see Riley, her face stiff, her hands folded in her lap like she's trying to keep herself together. Spencer's not laughing anymore, his arm limp on her chair. And I hope they're feeling it, the weight of every word Micah threw back at them after they called him second place, after they tried to make him small. But I don't linger on them because this isn't about them. It's about my son, who's walking off the stage now, his plaque gleaming under the lights, his steps steady like he's shed a weight he's carried for too long. The crowds, still clapping, some people even cheering, and I'm swept up in it, my hands moving, my heart full. Nora's voice cuts through, asking if Micah meant all that about me. I nod, my voice thick when I tell her he did. He's stronger than anyone knows. I think about all the times I tried to be there for him, bandaging scraped knees, staying up late to talk about his dreams, teaching him to keep going even when things were tough. I thought I was just doing what dads do. But hearing him tonight, I realize it was more. It was the foundation he built this moment on. The principal's back at the mic, moving things along, but I'm barely listening. My eyes are locked on Micah as he heads toward us, weaving through the rows of kids. He's not smiling, not yet, but there's a calm in his face like he's said what he needed to say and he's okay now. I want to meet him halfway, wrap him up and tell him he's everything, but I stay put, letting him come to me, knowing he needs this moment to be his. The applause starts to fade, people settling back into their seats, but I'm still standing. Nora tugs at my hand, asking if we can go hug him. I tell her soon, my voice steady even though I'm shaking inside, because I'm not just proud, I'm humbled, flawed, that my boy sees me the way he does. Micah reaches us, his plaque tucked under his arm, and he doesn't say anything at first, just steps close and wraps me in a hug, his head resting against my shoulder like he's a kid again. I hug him back tight, feeling the strength in him, the weight of everything he's carried tonight. Did I go too far? He whispers so quietly. I almost miss it. My throat closes up, because he's worried about me even now. No, I say, my voice rough. You didn't go far enough. He pulls back, his eyes searching mine, and I see a flicker of a smile, like he knows I mean it, knows I'm with him. Nora throws her arms around his waist, nearly knocking him over, and he laughs. A real laugh, soft but true. And it's the best sound I've heard all night. I think about what he said up there about strength not needing to shout, and I realize he's teaching me now, showing me what it looks like to stand up and claim your place without tearing anyone else down. Glance at Riley again, just for a second. She's looking our way, her face unreadable, like she's trying to figure out what just happened. Spencer's staring at his phone like he's checked out. And I'm glad, because they don't get to be part of this. Not after what they did. The auditorium's settling now, the next award being announced. But I'm still caught in this bubble with my kids. This moment where we're enough, where we're more than enough. I put a hand on Micah's shoulder, tell him I'm proud, and he nods, his eyes bright but steady, like he's already moving past tonight, already thinking about what's next. I think about all the years we've had, the late nights, the quiet talks, the times I wondered if I was doing it right. And I know now that I was, because he's standing here, strong and sure, because of it. Nora's chattering now, asking Micah about his plaque, and he shows it to her, letting her trace the letters with her finger. I watch them, my heart settling, and I realize this is what matters, the three of us together, no matter what anyone says. The principal's voice drones on, the crowd clapping for someone else, but I'm not part of it anymore. I'm here with my kids, holding on to this victory, this truth that Micah spoke for all of us. I think about what he asked. Did he go too far? And I know he didn't. Because he said what needed saying, broke something open that's been closed for too long. So I'm proud, but more than that, I'm grateful. Because he's shown me who I am through his eyes, and it's more than I ever thought I could be. The moment feels complete, like a chapter closing. And I'm ready for whatever comes next, knowing we'll face it together, stronger than ever.